Hope you're all keeping well out there, guys. Today we've got a pretty killer selection of guitars from the Gibson Custom Shop, including our first shipment of Murphy Lab guitars. With these Murphy Lab guitars, it's a new department within the Gibson Custom Shop that's all overseen by Tom Murphy. So previously in the past you used to be able to get a Murphy aged guitar or a Murphy painted guitar, but you would be, you know, talking at getting up to like a 3 to 4 waiting time or a lead time, you know, to get one of those guitars made. And you know, they were kind of becoming the holy grail type sort of guitar of the Gibson Custom Shop. But a lot of customers didn't want that sort of lead time. You know, got itchy fingers. They want to get their hands on the guitars quickly. But so what Gibson have done, they've recognised this and they've opened up this new department called the Murphy Lab. And what they're actually doing is it's a whole area within the factory where Tom Murphy has his team, and basically they all work on the guitars together. And Tom oversees, you know, every single last one. So it's basically a new process that they've developed. So actually the guitars now, the aging is actually a lot more authentic to the original burst guitars and the original classic SGs and 335s, etc. So it's not just a new thing where Tom's basically just getting everybody to do the work and he's just sitting there with his feet up. Tom is still really hands-on in this process, and they've actually developed a new aging process which, like I said before, does make the guitars look a lot more authentic. So the whole thing with this is there's a few different options. What I'm going to do is I'll stop waffling, but I just want to give you you know, kind of a rough idea of how it's all working. There's a few options within the Murphy Lab, which goes from very lightly aged all the way through to real heavy aged guitars as well. But there is still the option of Murphy painted guitars. So okay, Murphy himself might not be doing the actual one by one aging of the guitars, but he is doing the painting and the, you know, the bursting, as it were, on some of these guitars. And we've actually got some here. And not only are these some of the first ones that we've seen, they're also they've also got hand-picked tops. So I'm sure some of our followers will know that we spend a lot of time, or prior to COVID anyway, we spent a lot of time going to the Gibson Custom Shop in Nashville and choosing the best quality tops that we really like and we know that our customers like. And just as it happened with the factory closed down and a few other factors like that, we had a big pile of tops sitting at the Gibson Custom Shop that hadn't been used. And then the Murphy Lab was announced, and then boom, problem solved. Here we go. So I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to show you some of these guitars. We've also got some regular guitars that have come in that are just standard custom shop guitars, but still beautiful things, and I wanted to show you those as well. So I'm going to start with the Murphy Lab guitars and then work our way through to the regular stock. So here we go. Right, okay. So first up is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if this one is probably the first one on the market. So this is a 59 Les Paul Standard in Royal T-Burst. It's a Murphy paint, but it's also left-handed. So very funky. So starting off with a boom, you know, we try and keep everyone happy. Okay, over to here. There we go. It's the new thing we started seeing here as well, this nice little protective cover. So there we go. So this is a Murphy painted left-handed 59 Les Paul. So the biggest difference is the way that they're aging the guitars now. It hasn't been done like the old-fashioned way, that how they kind of used to do it with a razor blade. It's proper lacquer checking through, as far as I know, through temperature change and different processes that they're using to make the lacquer crack. So this guitar has a hand-picked top, So it has a nice bit of figure in there, but is not too kind of over the top. It's really hard to get kind of the right balance with a figured top on a Les Paul, because a lot of customers want that insane kind of heavily figured kind of look, but some people don't really want it to be, you know, PRS 10 top kind of thing. They want it to look a lot more like an authentic burst, and to me that has the look there completely. So there it is. That is a Murphy paint 59 Les Paul. Let's just go and see what kind of paperwork these guitars come through now. Oh yeah, great, look at that. Right, okay. So let's pop that there. So here, even the COA booklet has got like this lacquer checking kind of look to it. So Murphy Lab, Tom Murphy painted. So there we go. So what I'll do is I'll start going through the rest of the guitars now. Obviously I won't show the paperwork for every single one, but this one's obviously not a live video that we're doing here, but any questions that you may have, please feel free to ask, and we'll come back to you as soon as we can. So what is the date today, Luke? The 3rd? Is it the 3rd? Yeah. 3rd or 4th? So the actual launch date for this Murphy Lab stuff is the 9th of March. So you guys are probably watching this after that date. So we've got to keep these guitars hidden away from the world until then, unfortunately. But hopefully, you know, when they're out there, you'll love them. So let's move on. Let's move this out of the way. Right, okay. That's custom. Right, so next up is a right-handed Les Paul this time. So this is a 59 Les Paul Standard in slow iced tea fade. Again, this one is a Murphy painted guitar as well. So let's open it up and have a look. Right, I'm guessing that this one is probably a little bit more aged because it has the aged case with it as well. So let's see where we're at with this one. Got to zoom up on that. Cool. Right. Wowza. Right, great, lovely. Oh, it's beautiful. So yeah, Murphy paint again, slow iced tea fade. This one is a, well, I'll have to double check, and we'll put it in the description about which aging level this is. It doesn't actually say on the box, but we do have all the specs for everything. But this one is a slightly more heavily aged. You can see the tuners there are all yellowed. You can see like the logo is almost kind of starting to wear away. There's some really great.
The Les Paul's gone as well.
Yeah. Got that really nice aging, and it's, you know, really cool authentic aging. It's a lot of the real heavily aged Les Pauls we've seen in the past. You know, it looks like it's been kind of really chunked away out and chipped away right up here, but it's kind of, you know, the first 3 or 4 frets where the money's made, I suppose. So nice dark fingerboard again, beautiful hand picked top. Yeah, Murphy paint, slow iced tea fade. Again, it's probably just the same paperwork. Yeah, same paperwork as last time. Superb. Big change in the quality, I believe, of the aging on these guitars. It's one of those things, you know, until you actually get your hands on one and see it up close, it's very hard to really show the details. But as soon as you see one in the flesh, you can see that it looks like a lot more like an original burst. And the aging is kind of just, well, the lacquer checking just looks a lot more natural than how it would have been done with a razor blade, etc. Great, right, where are we at next? Right, here we go. So these first guitars that I'm showing you, these Murphy painted guitars and Murphy Lab guitars, this one is an actual Murphy Lab, so not painted by Tom, but it's still a made to measure guitar. So what they're doing with the Murphy Lab guitars, they've got a range of guitars that are like 58 Les Paul, 57, 59, the 60, etc., plus the SGs, and period correct 335s, Vs, and all the other kind of stuff as well. But there's kind of like a set menu that you can choose from. So there's 3 or 4 colours in light aged, another 3 or 4 different colours in the medium aged, and then some different colours as you go up through the aging levels. But these guitars, the first ones that we're showing you here, are made to measure. So they're basically chosen with our tops and the exact colours that we want, basically. So these are custom made. Even though it's a custom guitar, it's even more custom. As our friend Peppan likes to say, custom. Right, here we go. So this one is a 1960 Les Paul with a V2 neck. Again, with one of our hand-picked tops. What is the official colour of this one? This one is the Tomato Burst. So this is a standard Murphy Lab aged guitar, so not painted by Tom, but just one of his talented guys that work with him in that Murphy Lab. Beautiful. So again, hand-picked top, lovely lightweight guitar. So you can see it kind of mirrors that same lacquer checking and consistency that we've seen with the guitars so far. This is a lighter aged one, so it has that just worn in under the bed kind of look to it, where it's just had the natural lacquer checking over the finish curing over the course of 50, 60 years. So there it is, lovely V2 profile. So it's kind of the in the middle kind of profile. So the guys that really find that the 60s are a bit too slim, but the 59's a bit too chunky. So the V2's kind of just in the middle there. So yeah, lovely faded out burst, and it's not too red. Some of those tomato bursts can be really, really kind of red and pizza burst looking, but this has got a real nice look to it. Great. We're hitting some winners. Okay. Okay. Next up is a 59 Les Paul Standard. Again, this one is a Murphy painted guitar, and this is in Dirty Lemon Burst. So hand-picked top again, one of our made to measure guitars. I'm excited to see this one. The Lemon Burst and kind of all the different variants of that colour have always been some of the best selling colours that we've had on Les Pauls. So here we go. Oh yeah, look at that, stunning. Beautiful. So Murphy paint, Dirty Lemon Burst, kind of a light age finish on that one. See, it's got almost a like Brazilian rosewood looking fretboard on that one. I know it must be East Indian, but that looks really lovely. Kind of got that nice red chocolatey kind of hue to it. That one is a real winner. Great lightweight guitar, authentic burst, vintage look. And we'll try and get you some more closer details on that lacquer check-in. Don't know if you can, how much of it you can see there, but it just looks right. It just looks like an old guitar that's really been well cared for and looked after over the years. So yeah, stunning. Okay, so I think there was a total of 4 Murphy paint guitars that were made to measures in this lot. So we've been through 3 of those so far. So let me just find the next one, and then we can start moving through to some other Murphy Lab standard guitars. Where are we? Okay. So this next one is a Golden Poppy Burst Murphy paint 59 Les Paul. So again, hand-picked top. When we go through our tops, when we're over in Nashville, we just try and pick tops that are closest as what we can get to original 59 tops. So plus we do like to put a few spicier ones in there. This one's going to be a bit more of an aged one, I think, because it has the age case as well. Let's check this one out. So Golden Poppy Burst, for those that don't know, again is that kind of lemon burst, faded burst kind of finish. Yowza. Yes, it's a lot more aged with a really super dark, almost ebony-like fretboard. It's almost got a very kind of light bit of kind of quilt happening in that one. Kind of reminds me of one of Bonamessa's old Les Pauls. I think it was called Spot, one with the double whites on it. So it's a Murphy paint. I think it's a heavy age, this one's called, in Golden Poppy Burst. We'll get all the specs up and the full descriptions on there as well. So this one you'll see, consistent to the last one, has that same kind of wear on the back of the neck. Yeah, and like I say, a really lovely dark, almost ebony-like fretboard. And all these guitars so far have all been really, really lightweight as well. I mean, that, try and get a close-up of it like that. Just like as sweet as you like. Beautiful. Right, okay. So that gets us through our hand-picked top, made-to-measure Murphy Lab guitars. So next up, I'm going to choose. We've got a couple of guitars to show, which are part of that part of the Murphy Lab menu, as it were. So it has, you know, you can choose, you know, from 3 colours or 3 or 4 colours, I think it is, under light aged, and then it goes up through the aging levels, and the colours do change slightly as you go from light aged, because obviously on the light aged they generally tend to do less of the bursts that are kind of faded out, so you'll see more of the kind of the lemon burst and more of the real washed out kind of bursts in the more heavier aged, to simulate the look of, you know, an older guitar or one that's been played a lot more. But of course, with the made to measure guitars like what our ones are, you can choose kind of whatever colour you want, and we just chose some of our favourites for that one. So first up, I think the 2 Murphy Lab guitars that we've got left are both 335s. So let's start off with this big old beast that we've got here. So this is nearly as tall as me. So this is a heavy aged 61 335 in cherry. So let's take a peek at this one. I think this one's going to be a heavy hitter. If I can muster the energy to get the thing out. Lovely. Here we go. I think this is going to be the one where Jack ends up wanting to trade his other one back in. Huge old case on this one. Let's check it out. Right. Oof. Now you are talking. Look at that. No words needed. Everyone is going to be all over that like a cheap suit. Beautiful. So 61335 dot inlays. Again, lovely lightweight. Done a fantastic job. I haven't really mentioned so far on the aging of the covers and the hardware on the guitars. You can see where they've kind of added in this lighter colour red underneath where the wear is to simulate the years of the stain soaking through into the maple. Yeah, it's just a real authentic buckle rash. They've definitely upped the game here with the aging levels. I mean, before, you know, it was always, everyone loved the Murphy aged ones, but some of the other aged finishes were great, but maybe had too much wear on the back of the neck and then hardly any kind of buckle rash. I think the thing with the Murphy Lab aging now, it's consistent throughout all areas of the guitar. So you have, you know, like the aging along the side of the fretboard, you have a little bit of buckle rash, tiny little bits of arm wear, so it all kind of is quite uniform. So yeah, there we go. Right, so we've got one more Murphy Lab guitar to show you. So this is a 59, oh yes, ES355 in watermelon is the colour. So I'm intrigued to see what we've got going on here. And this is a light aged as well. So let's see what's up with this. This is going to be a beast, I reckon. Arms are just about long enough. Okay. Are we ready? Yowza. Oh, that's just absolutely beautiful. So 59 ES355, I mean that's stuff that dreams are made of. They've just absolutely nailed the colour there. A really faded cherry finish, beautiful gold hardware, lovely ebony fingerboard. So it's light aged, you got just the kind of the lacquer checking. I guess if all you Fender guys out there, this would be kind of similar aging level to their Lush Closet Classic finish. But yeah, I just think this is the best aging, even above, you know, the older Murphy aged guitars that we've seen. It just seems kind of a lot more on the money, really. I know I'm going to get panned for keep saying authentic, but that's what it is. So there you go. Get standard paperwork again with that, same as the first one that we saw. So that takes us to the end of our Murphy Lab guitars. We've got, I think, getting on for about 150 of these guitars on order altogether. So you're going to start seeing a lot of them coming into stock over the next few months. And the majority of them are all guitars with hand-picked tops as well. Obviously, we don't bother with guitars like 335s and SGs and everything, etc. But on Les Pauls, we are quite specific about the tops that we like. But we are ordering from their standard menu as well. So let's have a look what else we've got on this shipment. So everything now is kind of standard VOS core product. So I'm going to show you a few of those now. So first up, something we don't see that often is a 54 Les Paul. This one can go on the website straight away. So hopefully by the time this video goes out, it's already sold. Got this in our box graveyard. Lovely. So this is 54 Les Paul. in their double gold finish, which is a really kind of nice greened out gold. They're just really nailing the colour there. Very lightweight. This is, what's the serial number of that? Does that say? So this looks like, if I'm right, the serial number is the first Les Paul made in 2021. So you've got the 4, so serial number is 41001. So the 4 is for the 54. The 1 means 2021 and 001. So there you go. Whether that makes any difference, whatever, it probably doesn't, but it's probably the first Les Paul made anyway of the year. I'm sure there's some 001s on some SGs and 335s and stuff, but yeah, very, very cool guitar. These wrap over tailpieces have got a real kind of distinct sound to them, really kind of rich, fluid sound to them, and a really nice chimey clean as well. Very nice. Move this out of the way. Okay, right, here we go. Next up is a 58 Les Paul in Lemon Burst, and this one has one of our own hand-picked tops on the guitar. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, we had a big pile of guitars, well, a big pile of tops, sorry, sitting in Nashville waiting for us to use because we haven't been able to do anything with them, obviously because of the factory close downs and production issues for pretty much every single guitar factory. But they're just starting to roll through now anyway. So this is the 58 Les Paul with one of our hand-picked tops. I mean, these tops, hopefully when we see this one, you'll see is basically as good as a 59. So let's check it out. Oh, so it is. Look at that. So what you get with a hand-picked top Les Paul is basically we have a top that's pretty much 59 grade, very much kind of well, a very small upcharge in comparison to you know, the standard 58 price. So it works out much cheaper than a kind of an off-the-shelf 59, but it's kind of the best of both worlds because it's got that 58 vibe, but with a slightly nicer top. I mean, that's a beauty. That's a 2021 guitar as well. So serial number of this one, if anyone particularly loves it, is 81110. So this will be going up on the website shortly and may even be sold before this video comes out, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Okay. There's this one here, isn't it? Right, next up we have a 59 Les Paul Standard reissue in Dirty Lemon. So pretty similar to that last one. But a 59, of course, and slightly more kind of aged looking colour, I think, anyway. Let's just check it out and we'll see. Yeah, absolute ripper. Absolute ripper. So straight away you see there, absolutely beautiful book matching high figuring on the top. You can't tell, but it's really lightweight. Lovely dark rosewood fingerboard. I mean, that is a great example of a figured top 59 Les Paul. And the kind of price point, it's not that much more than a standard 59 reissue VOS that you're going to see out at the custom shop. So yeah, an absolute cracker of a guitar. Beautiful. Do you approve, Luke?
Yeah, I do. That's great. That's one of my favourite ones.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beauty. Well, pretty impressive haul so far, I would say. So what do we have here? We've got a couple more. What's that? Yeah, VR. That is beautiful. Yeah, that is great. So right. So this one here is kind of one of the last of the 60th anniversary guitars that we spec'd out with hand-picked tops. So this one is a 59 Les Paul, standard in Kindred burst. I'll wait. Okay. Wait for that shutter to go. So what happens? Squeak it. We need some oil on that chain. Right, here we go. Beautiful. Sans pick guard as well. So another one of our killer, absolute killer buzzwords. Kindred burst, 59 Les Paul. So this is the 60th anniversary guitar. When is it made? It's officially, well, according to this, it has the 60th anniversary 59 seal number, but I should imagine it was made fairly recently anyway. But there it is, Kindred burst. No pick guard. Pick guard should be in the case. That was kind of, yeah, how we were speccing them out. Pick guard's just in there. Let's see when this guitar was actually made. So yeah, it's actually a 2021 guitar. So yeah, so one of the last of the orders that was made. Obviously they've been playing catch up with this lot, so this is why we're still seeing 60th anniversary 59s from 2 years ago that were ordered then. So another stunning guitar. One last one. So again, this one is just a standard off the shelf 59 Les Paul that we've ordered from Gibson stock. So this one is a good old wash cherry sunburst, which has always been one of the popular sellers with those guys. So let's check it out. Let's hope it's a good one and we're not signing off on a real plain Jane, but you know, each to their own. Yeah, lovely. It's a good, just a really smart looking burst. Nice faded cherry there. It doesn't have too much of that tomato soup kind of colour that we spoke about earlier. Just a great example of a vintage burst. Nice dartboard as well. So yeah, good way to finish the video. So I know there's a lot to take in there, guys, with the Murphy Lab stuff, and apologies if I wasn't clear on all of this stuff. There's a lot of small details still to be kind of ironed out from our end as well. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask and we'll come back to you as soon as we can. Like I say, there'll be more Murphy Lab guitars coming through and a whole load more of other Gibson Custom Shops as well. But just want to say thanks for watching the video. I hope you're all keeping well out there, and yeah, stay safe. Cheers. Bye.